Imagine you're the last one awake. Everyone else is asleep around the fire, and you're staring past the edge of the light. There are others out there, other bands, other faces, but none close, not for days in any direction. A small, uncomfortable thought creeps in. What if something happened to all of them, and I was the only one left? That sounds dramatic, but for most of human history, it wasn't hypothetical. It was a live possibility sitting under every single day. And whether early humans felt lonely, actually and biologically lonely, has a stranger answer than yes or no. Today, loneliness feels modern. You can be lonely in a city of 10 million, isolated while scrolling hundreds of messages. But that gets it backwards. Loneliness isn't a bug that showed up with skyscrapers and smartphones. It's an alarm system that's been running for hundreds of thousands of years, and understanding why it exists tells you something unsettling about what it was built to prevent. Anthropologists studying modern hunter-gatherers, the closest living approximation to ancient human life, consistently find band sizes around 25 to 50 people. Not the maximum humans can tolerate, but roughly the size a group needs to share labor, defend itself, and absorb bad luck. One bad season could decide whether the band survived. So, the group wasn't a preference, it was the boundary between life and death. Loneliness, then, isn't a mood, it's a warning light wired into your nervous system. You've drifted too far from the thing keeping you alive. Researcher John Cacioppo spent decades on this, and his argument is blunt. Loneliness works like physical pain. Pain stops you from ignoring a wound. Loneliness stops you from ignoring social disconnection, because for most of human history, disconnection was just as lethal, only slower. Chronic loneliness produces the same stress hormone spikes, disrupted sleep, and weakened immunity as sustained physical threat. So what was this alarm built to warn against? Not awkward silence at a party, actual abandonment. At Shanidar Cave in Iraq, researchers found a Neanderthal called Shanidar I, who lived roughly 45,000 years ago. He was missing most of one arm, likely blind in one eye, and walked with a limp that would have made him a slow, inefficient hunter. By pure survival of the fittest logic, he should have been left behind. Instead, his healed injuries show he lived for years after the damage, fed, protected, kept in the group long after he stopped being practically useful. He isn't unique. Similar patterns turn up across Neanderthal and early Homo sapiens sites. Individuals with disabilities or healed fractures surviving well past the point a solitary human could have. Exclusion was close to a death sentence. So what happened to people who fell out of the group? There's almost no direct evidence, for an uncomfortable reason. Someone isolated in the deep past usually just disappears from the record. No burial, no tools left behind. The silence in the record isn't an absence of evidence, it might be the evidence. There's a second layer, and it's about information, not just survival. Early humans needed each other's memories, which plants were poisonous, where water held out in a drought, knowledge distributed across dozens of brains and refreshed through conversation. Someone cut off from that network lost access to everyone's accumulated experience. Loneliness isn't just emotional, it's closer to cognitive deprivation. Isolated people in modern studies show measurable declines in memory, reasoning, even pattern recognition after extended periods without social contact, because human cognition evolved as a group activity, not a solo one. A person alone, tens of thousands of years ago, was, in a real sense, thinking with a smaller brain than the one they were born to use. This may have shaped us deeper than behavior. Researchers point to the self-domestication hypothesis. Humans who were more socially tolerant survived and reproduced at higher rates, and that pressure shaped faces, hormones, even skull structure, traceable in the fossil record. We may have literally evolved to need each other, like we need food and water. That pull toward connection didn't stop at the group's edges. Long before agriculture or writing, archaeologists find seashells and stone tools hundreds of kilometers from where they naturally occur, traded hand to hand between bands who never met. Isolated groups reached outward deliberately to stay connected beyond their own campfire, driven by the same alarm that drives one lonely person by a fire. So, did early humans feel lonely? Almost certainly, and probably more sharply than we do now, because for them, the stakes were never abstract. Loneliness was your body's oldest warning system, screaming that you'd wandered away from the only thing standing between you and the dark. That alarm never got switched off. It's still wired into you right now, the same as it was in a cave 45,000 years ago. The next time you feel that specific ache of being cut off from people, that's not a modern glitch. That's a system built over hundreds of thousands of years, still doing exactly the job it was built to do, warning you that you've drifted, telling you to find your way back to the fire.